Hello everyone, and welcome to UFO Evidence. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most persistent and debated topics of our time, the government UFO Cover Up. Is it a wild conspiracy theory, or is there a hidden truth that officials have been concealing for decades? Let's sift through the evidence and see what we can uncover. The story often begins in 1947 with the Roswell incident. A rancher in New Mexico discovered strange debris in his field. The local Air Force base initially announced they had recovered a flying disc. A day later, the story changed dramatically. It was just a weather balloon. This sudden reversal sparked a firestorm of suspicion that has never truly died down. Why the conflicting stories? Was the initial report a slip of the tongue, revealing something they shouldn't have? Or was it a simple case of misidentification blown way out of proportion? For many, Roswell is the cornerstone of the cover-up theory. The idea that wreckage from an extraterrestrial craft and its occupants were recovered and hidden away in a secret facility like Area 51 has become legendary. Speaking of Area 51, this highly classified Air Force facility in the Nevada desert has long been at the center of UFO folklore. Its existence wasn't even officially acknowledged by the US government until 2013. For years, the official line was that it was just a testing ground for experimental aircraft. And indeed, top-secret planes like the U-2 spy plane and the F-117 Nighthawk stealth fighter were developed and tested there. This provides a convenient explanation for many of the strange lights and unusual aircraft seen in the sky nearby. Skeptics argue that every supposed UFO sighting near Area 51 can be attributed to these advanced but very much human-made technologies. But others aren't so sure. Former employees like the controversial Bob Lazar have come forward with incredible claims. Lazar alleged in the late 1980s that he worked on reverse engineering alien technology at a site near Area 51 called S4. He described saucer-shaped craft powered by anti-gravity reactors. While his credentials have been heavily disputed, his detailed testimony ignited public imagination and reinforced the belief that the government was hiding something extraordinary. Then we have Project Blue Book, the US Air Force's official study of UFOs that ran from 1952 to 1969. Over its 17-year span, it investigated more than 12,000 sightings. The official conclusion was that the vast majority of sightings were misidentifications of natural phenomena or conventional aircraft, and that no evidence indicated the objects were extraterrestrial or a threat to national security. However, over 700 cases remained unidentified. Critics of Blue Book, including its own scientific consultant Dr. J. Allen Hynek, argued that the project was more of a public relations exercise than a serious scientific investigation. Hynek, who initially was a skeptic, eventually became convinced that a small fraction of UFO reports represented a genuine, unexplained phenomenon. He felt the Air Force was more interested in debunking reports to quell public anxiety than in actually solving the mystery. Was Project Blue Book a genuine attempt to find answers? Or was it a carefully managed campaign to control the narrative and dismiss credible sightings? The cover-up theory isn't just an American phenomenon. Governments worldwide have been accused of concealing information. In the UK, the Ministry of Defense released thousands of pages of UFO files, but many key documents were heavily redacted or withheld entirely, citing national security. One famous case is the Rendlesham Forest incident in 1980, often called Britain's Roswell. US Air Force personnel stationed at RAF Woodbridge reported seeing strange lights descending into the forest and even encountering a metallic craft. The deputy base commander, Lieutenant Colonel Charles Holt, recorded an audio tape of the event and later wrote an official memo. Despite the testimony of multiple military witnesses, the official explanation has wavered between a lighthouse, meteors, and bright stars. For investigators, the official dismissal of such a compelling military sighting is proof of a policy of denial. More recently, the conversation has shifted dramatically. In 2017, the New York Times published a bombshell report revealing a secret Pentagon program called the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, or AATIP. This program, which ran from 2007 to 2012, investigated military encounters with what are now officially called Unidentified Aerial Phenomena, or UAPs. The report was accompanied by 3 declassified videos, captured by Navy fighter pilots, showing strange objects moving in ways that defy our understanding of physics. We're talking about the gimbal, go fast, and tic-tac videos. These objects had no visible means of propulsion, pulled off incredible accelerations, and moved at hypersonic speeds without a sonic boom. These weren't blurry amateur photos. They were clear, sensor data-backed recordings from some of the most advanced military aircraft on the planet, witnessed by highly trained pilots. The release of these videos forced the government's hand. In June 2021, the Office of the Director of National Intelligence released a preliminary assessment on UAPs. While the report didn't confirm aliens, it was a landmark moment. It admitted that of 144 incidents reported by military personnel between 2004 and 2021, all but 1 remained unexplained. It also stated that these phenomena clearly pose a flight safety issue and may pose a challenge to US national security. The report effectively legitimized the topic, moving it from the fringe to the forefront of national security discussions. For those who have believed in a cover-up for decades, this was a form of vindication. The government was finally admitting that there are things in our skies that they cannot explain. But does this new transparency mean the cover-up is over? Or is it just a new strategy? Some insiders, like Lou Elizondo, the former head of AATIP, suggest that what has been released is just the tip of the iceberg. They argue that there is a faction within the government that wants more disclosure, fighting against another that prefers to keep these secrets buried. This narrative of an internal struggle adds another layer of complexity to the issue. Are we seeing a controlled drip feed of information designed to slowly acclimate the public to a much bigger reality? Or is the government itself just as baffled as the rest of us, struggling to understand what these UAPs are? Then there's the argument from the perspective of national security. If a government did possess advanced, non-human technology, revealing it would be the single greatest security risk in history. It could destabilize global power balances, trigger a new arms race, and cause widespread panic and social disruption. From this viewpoint, a cover-up isn't just plausible, it's logical. It would be seen as a necessary evil to maintain order and security. If you were in charge, and you knew that revealing the truth could lead to chaos, what would you do? This is a powerful argument for why secrecy might be maintained, even if the intentions aren't necessarily malicious. The motives for a cover-up could also be economic and technological. Imagine the impact of introducing energy sources that could make fossil fuels obsolete overnight. The entire global economy would be turned on its head. Entire industries would collapse, while new ones would rise. The controllers of such technology would hold unprecedented power. Therefore, the secrecy could be about protecting existing economic structures and controlling the rollout of revolutionary technology. Let's consider the counter-arguments. The cover-up could simply be a series of bureaucratic mix-ups, overclassification of military projects, and a general reluctance to engage with a topic ridiculed for so long. It's often said that the simplest explanation is the most likely. Perhaps the weather balloon in Roswell really was just a weather balloon, part of a top-secret project to monitor Soviet nuclear tests, like Project Mogul. Maybe the unidentified cases in Project Blue Book are just that, cases with insufficient data to draw a conclusion. And perhaps the recent UAP reports are simply advanced drones from a rival nation, a possibility the Pentagon itself takes very seriously. The theory of a perfectly maintained 70-year global conspiracy involving thousands of people without a single, undeniable leak of hard evidence is for many a stretch too far. However, The recent wave of high-level congressional hearings and whistleblower testimonies has poured fuel back on the fire. In 2023, David Grush, a former Air Force intelligence officer, came forward with explosive claims under oath. He alleged that the US is in possession of non-human craft and that a secret program has been concealing this for decades, operating outside of congressional oversight. These are not vague rumors. These are specific allegations made by a credible individual in a formal setting. While he hasn't provided public proof, his testimony has triggered formal inquiries and has been taken very seriously by lawmakers. So, where does that leave us? On one hand, we have decades of official denials, plausible explanations involving secret military tech, and the sheer difficulty of maintaining such a massive long-term conspiracy. On the other hand, we have a trail of puzzling incidents like Roswell and Rendlesham, the reluctant admissions from the Pentagon, incredible footage from Navy pilots, and now high-ranking whistleblowers testifying under oath. The narrative has shifted from "Are UFOs real?" to "What does the government know about UAPs?" The term cover-up implies a deliberate, malicious intent to deceive. Perhaps what we're seeing is something more nuanced, a mix of genuine mystery, legitimate national security concerns, bureaucratic inertia, and a slow, cautious move towards transparency. The truth is likely complex and messy, not a simple story of good versus evil. What do you think? Is there an active, ongoing cover-up of extraterrestrial visitation? Or is the reality a collection of misidentified advanced human technology and natural phenomena, amplified by our own fascination with the unknown? The evidence is compelling on both sides, and the debate is far from over. As more information comes to light, we'll be here to analyze it. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. If you find this topic as fascinating as we do, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to UFO Evidence, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next investigation. Let us know your theories in the comments below. See you next time.